Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. My name's Nick and today I thought we could do some harvesting. So we get started on my lovely heirloom tomatoes, all grown organically. I've got tons of varieties here, from yellow Tims to chocolate cherries, and they are really fantastic. Well, being quite prolific, I do have quite a few cherries on the go. I find that the cherries are pretty much always coming in consistently because obviously they're very small and they only take a little bit to ripen. And we have the large slicers or beefsteak tomatoes, which do come in a little bit less frequently at the moment. We are here in late August, almost September, so we only have about a month left of tomatoes exciting stuff. I'm going to, well, to be honest, if you've got any tomato recipes, please let me know because I'd love to have some of them because I'm really struggling with ideas now. So when I was down the allotment, I wasn't actually going to harvest my corn today, but I noticed that there was some rodent damage on my corn, so I decided a little while ago, as soon as I saw any sort of damage on it, I'm going to go ahead and harvest the whole lot. So I'm going to start doing the harvesting now, and what I'm doing is basically pulling the ears straight down and snapping them off of the stalk, and then just bending the stalk down directly so that the stalk is actually out the way. So this here is about 3 rows of corn, so not very much. And I've already done quite a significant bit of harvesting in this particular sweet corn patch. We do have quite a lot of rodent damage, and the plot next to mine had significant rodent damage. I do think because I am actually growing non-sweet corn, as in it's an heirloom variety called Fiesta. It's not a sweet eating corn like we're used to, that you get like on the grill and things like that. So I do think that the rodents did leave it alone a little bit more, but I did get about 1/3 damage on this particular crop. So that's like really high. But like I said, I was thinking about this when I'm harvesting them. I was thinking to myself, what could I have done differently? I could have put down a load of, rat poison. I could have sprayed them with rat poison. Would I want to eat them covered in rat poison? No. So what I was thinking next year, I'm probably just going to go ahead and harvest them a lot sooner and not try to dry them out on the plant, because in reality, like, I could totally dry them out at home. Like, it wouldn't even be bothered, because I do get a lot of people saying like, oh, it's weird how you have pest issues when like I garden at home and I don't have them. And I was totally like that when I was gardening at home. I don't have any pest damage. Honestly, I wouldn't have any of these issues at home in my garden because um no one's been growing there for 70 years. As you can see, there's loads and loads of pest damage there, and they've almost eaten the whole entire cob. Which I actually do prefer. I don't like it when they take a little nibble out of something. I mean, take it all if you're going to take it. But like I keep saying, if you're doing organic gardening, you have to suppose that about 1/3 of your crop is going to be taken by damage. I'm going to be I'm going to be drying out some of this corn. I'm not too sure how well it's going to work because obviously you want it super ripe. Some of them are much riper than others, but because it got to the point where it was okay, I could leave it on the plant and I'm going to end up losing it, like just like that. There was something growing on that. I don't know if you can see it. I had no idea what it was. It was like a brown, like sort of larvae on it. So I left it well alone. I didn't want to get bitten by it. And what I'm going to be doing is just pulling them off. You can see me taking off the damaged corn here, only because I wanted to count it and see how many were damaged. When you're harvesting and you see a lot of damage, it feels like all of your crop's gone, and it is quite upsetting. So what I like to do is harvest it all and then kind of have 2 piles where I can really see visually how much I've lost. It does help with like me getting a little bit upset about it because you put on so much effort into these plants. I mean, I fertilise them with blood and fish bone. I grew them from seed. You know what I mean? So you're sitting there, you're thinking, oh, it's all ruined, and it's easy to fall into that like downward spiral. But if I end up like looking at them both, I think, you know what, I always say one third, one third, one third. It was almost exactly one third of the crop that was actually damaged, which is quite significant. But in my next lot of corn, it wasn't so bad. So it's kind of like swings and roundabouts for that one. I'm just going through and just stripping all of the plants of their corn and just pulling them down. I'm going to be using this as a mulch because anyone who's got an allotment, and most people who watch me have an allotment or want an allotment, wheelbarrowing in wood chip or wood barrowing in compost is not fun. Like, when I say it's not fun, like, it's not fun at all. It's rubbish. I hate it. So if I get free mulch that's grown on my plot and I can just put it straight onto a bed, I'm going to 100% do that. So I'm just going to use that to cover up the potatoes a little bit, because obviously I've taken all the seed off of them. And if there are a few volunteer corns, which I really strongly doubt, that'd be awesome. So I don't have to plant them next year. So as you can see, I'm just making sure they come out. They're actually really well rooted in, because I've like healed them up. So I'm really struggling to get them out of the ground because of their really fantastic root system. Once again, I don't actually dig into the ground, take the roots out. I'm just going to leave them in there to rot. It makes really great food for the microbiome of the soil, and it also allows like the air and even more organic matter to go down into the soil. So I'm not going to be going ahead and digging them up. I'm going to probably put cabbages in or something like that here for over winter. Let's wait and see, because I don't want to fill up the entire allotment with cabbages, because yes, I like cabbage, but no one likes that much cabbage. I mean, this is a lot of space to fill with just cabbages. So I've got quite a lot of things that I want to be putting in, like strawberries and such, like over winter, and garlic and onions. So what I'm kind of having an idea of which beds I'm going to be like resting, fertilising it until I go ahead and put them in probably in October, to get a harvest of onions and etc. in this bed. That would be quite nice. And then I'm probably going to grow more sweet corn. I tell you, right, harvesting this sweet corn, it's a bit weird, but it's so satisfying because it's very destructive. You're like smashing things and crashing them, and if it's the best thing to do, it's like making bread. You want to do that in a bit of a bad mood, and I was a little bit in a mood now because I thought I lost most of my harvest, so it was quite therapeutic to break up all of this corn and to throw it onto the potato bed, which is next to this particular bed. That's going to be my Christmas potatoes. So incredibly important potatoes, them ones. They haven't actually sprouted yet, and I'm sure they're fine, but it feels like they've been in for like forever since I harvested them. But I'm sure it's going to be fine. So I'm actually sorting the corn into two different groups. I'm having ones with absolutely no damage on that are fit for human consumption, and I am actually going to take all of the sweet corn home, even if it is damaged by rodents, mostly because I really don't want to attract rodents onto my plot. So I feel like if I put it in the compost, it's going to end up with a load of rodents all over my plot, and they do a lot of damage. So I'm going to go ahead and take them all off of the plot. I'll leave the stalks because they'll just rot down and make beautiful compost, but I want to remove all of the stalks. All of the fresh, like the good ones and they're solid, I'm going to have a look at them, see if they're good enough for fresh eating, or hopefully I can dry some for popcorn. However, those that have been damaged by the rodents, I'm going to keep them. I'm probably going to take the corns off and feed them to my birds, unless they're really too far gone. Some of them have only had a little bit of a nibble and they've not actually eaten very many of the whole corn. So if there's a bit that's still covered up, I'm going to uncover that and feed it to my birds, and they're going to be very thankful for that over the winter period, because they do need to put on a bit more fat than they do in the summer, because obviously they're outside in the winter. Obviously that would be given to them as a treat over the winter period so that they can get a little bit more fat. You've got to be really careful with corn, with poultry, because it does make them put on a lot of weight. So obviously I'll be doing that in moderation. I can even put some up for my bird feeder, because we have a bird feeder that we keep stocked over the winter period and even in the summer period, to be honest, to make sure that like our lovely wild birds have enough to sort of get through the winter as well, because we really do enjoy watching them whilst eating dinner. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just making sure that they are okay. You get a lot of earwigs when you are growing corn, so I'm also kind of like getting them out. They're kind of gross. But if you do know what that dropping was, or whatever it was the weirdest thing inside the corn. I'd be really interested to know what it was. I thought it was like a dead mouse to start off with. I was actually terrified, but it wasn't. Okay, so I have 44 usable, perfectly good sweet corns from this pot here. Remember, I have harvested some before, and I do have my freezer of them, but these are the ones that I've harvested today. 34, not bad. 34 is doable. Some of them are small, and some of them are decent. Remember, this is a mini corn, so that's like a decent size for this variety. So 24 that have been destroyed by rats and mice. So 20. So it's about 1/3. I did say 1/3, but I'm not going to eat this. But there's still a lot of food on there, and I think that's going to go to the chickens and to the birds for winter. So I'm going to dry it out and I'm going to give it to them, because that's not something I'm going to want to eat, but I dare say that the birds won't mind it, so it's not too bad. There are ones like this that have been picked clean. I'm just annoyed at myself because I didn't pick it earlier. Oh my days, wait. 6. 47. 48. 48, and what was it? 48 ones that we can use, and these ones are going to go to the ducks and the birds and stuff like that. So we're back to the wonderful tomato harvest, where we are harvesting a load of cherry tomatoes again. I'm getting a whole load of tomatoes here on the allotment. These tomatoes that you can see, they're all sorts of varieties. These ones is a lovely, I think these are called golden nugget. They're a golden or yellow variety. I did just do some green zebra. Obviously green zebras are green. So I do get that question, why am I picking ones that are blushing? It's because of the problems with pests. As you can see on my sweet corn, I have a massive issue here with pests, and I'm trying to kind of harvest them before I have like a super sort of like impact to try to reduce, because I find the best cure is prevention. It is difficult in an area where obviously there is a high pest population, but I'm going to be doing everything in my power to reduce that by removing food sources before they become an issue. But it is difficult because, for example, this time of year is the best gardening time of year and everyone's on holiday, so we don't actually go on the sea. It is one of the biggest times of year for gardening. I know it sounds silly, but we kind of sacrifice for that because I adore my garden. But most people go on holiday and the pests do come in and take everything. These are my lovely cucumbers, Leven cukes. I have noticed that they are starting to die off in the middle a little bit. It is quite late in the season. Like I said, this is very late August, whereas the frost will be coming in November, but they're probably going to end production due to the days being so short in like the end of September. I'm expecting to have to pull these out. This is my second batch of corn. This one did so much better. I got so much less damage. I got probably about the same amount of corn in this patch. It's a slightly smaller one of usable corn I'm talking about. However, I have come in and done quite a lot of harvesting. I've got 2 bags of corn from this patch and the other patch already this season, so I know that I've gone in and properly harvested. Once again, all I'm doing is knocking it down. This stuff I haven't actually put it onto a bed because at this point I was kind of rushing home, because, well, basically I wanted to go see my family, so we were going out for dinner together. So I'm going to go ahead and come back and load it all into a wheelbarrow and put it onto another potato bed so that it will be, once again, free mulch. As you can see, each one of these sweet corns are a completely different size because they are all slightly different. This is Fiesta sweet corn, so in the packet you get all different types: mini sweet corn, big sweet corn, popcorn, mini popcorn, you name it. In the pack, some of them are even stripy. They're really cool. I'm really hoping that they've been on the plant for long enough that I'll actually get some colours on them. From what I can tell, from the damage that I was looking at, they all have changed colour, and I think that'd be really cool and very beautiful if they have done. These sweet corn tend to grow bigger. I'm not sure why, because I'm pretty sure I treated them the exact same. Maybe these were in slightly before. I can't remember which bed I did first. They might have even been done on the same day. So I'm just going ahead kicking them down, and then I will be grabbing the sweet corn, and I actually go over the other plot to count them. So I've just harvested that plot, and I've got 43 sweet corns from that plot, which I don't think is too bad, really. They're the undamaged ones. I also got 7 damaged ones, which I'm going to use for probably the ducks and things like that. Fantastic. These are the first ghost chilies. I thought they were more wrinkly, but they are ghost peppers. I'm probably not going to touch my face at all today, but aren't they pretty and red? This is my first tomato from the greenhouse, and then I've just got a load of basil. There's a squirrel with a cucumber or a walnut or something. How weird's that? He's running around, he sees dropped. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. See you next time. Bye bye.